Okay, so we're going to talk about... Do you want to guess? You want to try and guess a little bit?
I'm scared.
Just even one little guess?
I'm scared.
We're going to talk about self-sabotage. Everything is going my way. Everything is going right. I'm doing it right. I'm happy. I'm so happy. I can't believe it. And then I'm going to go and do something and spoil it for myself.
Actually, you're talking about denying it for oneself.
Why do people do that?
You see, you are very suggestible. You must understand that you will do anything to fit in, including sabotage yourself. Let's say if I have, when I was young, I have 10 friends and none of them are runners. Let's say they're not runners. And let's say if I'm running and I'm winning my tournaments and suddenly they don't want to get me in, I will mess it up for myself. So you must begin by first examining that you are very suggestible.
Are you speaking to me or are you speaking to the audience?
The audience.
Okay.
Yeah. We are, maybe that's a way to use it, we are very suggestible. You will comply. If let's say you have 10 friends and one of them thinks they are the most beautiful and you kind of agree with it, you will never allow yourself to be beautiful. So unless you are in an environment that accepts you evolving, changing, growing, the chances of you keeping yourself the way you should be to fit into the crowd is going to play out. And there are many elements to self-sabotage. This is an entire study. You have to sit down, examine you can answer hundreds of questions, and then you kind of see, why am I doing this to myself? You see, we all want to fit in. We want to be part. We want to maintain a certain status quo of ourselves. And in order to do that, one part of us pursue something and another part of us might want to not disturb the current understanding of you. You will self-sabotage. So they say success is a very lonely journey. So your desire to fit in, if it's more than your desire to thrive, there's a big chance because to fit in, you will self-sabotage. You will work against you. You become so terrified. Like the earlier topic, we talked about loneliness, We don't want to be alone. We don't want to be ostracized. We don't want to be outside of the circle. So one of the reasons of self-sabotage, there's many. There's self-condemnation, there is self-evaluation, there is you are saying, I don't deserve it. So it's an act you do not to allow yourself the more to come into play, because if you become more, what will happen? Let's say all your friends are not successful, you become successful. Crazy success. Will you fit in with your friends?
I'd hope so, but I don't know.
That is the question. If you have a doubt you might not, you will sabotage yourself. For thousands of years, women sabotage themselves in almost every aspect of what they can be just because they're worried about men. Women did. Women did make themselves weaker. Women made themselves lesser. They sabotage. Among women, I have seen women kind of holding other women, not expressing themselves. And all of this is why? I want to fit in. I want to be part of it.
But okay, let me give you, I'm wondering if there's a line. Let's take Margot Robbie. You know who Margot Robbie is?
Right. Yep.
She just so happens to be my sister's boss. But we love her. She's an incredible actress. She is so, so beautiful. She is one of the most beautiful women I think that has ever existed. But a lot of times when you see her on the red carpet, she was recently at the Oscars, she's so beautiful. She could wear anything. But she just doesn't shine as much as she could. I don't think she's self-sabotaging, but I think she's so beautiful. She's kind of like, I'm not going to try and make anybody else feel bad.
I think that's why, I don't know who she is. Only after she started working for the company.
And she seems like a very nice person.
And I saw some of the videos and some of the clips. Not that I follow the Hollywood thing. I like her. I think if I meet her personally, I like her because, you know why she's saying? She's saying just because I'm more or whatever doesn't mean you are less, one.
Yes.
Two, I think I can be more around her too.
Yeah.
She will play a role for me to become more. So she will not be the one who play a role for me to sabotage myself.
Yeah.
No, if
And so when you look at her, right, you're like, there was one outfit she wore. She wore this corset dress. I remember somebody on Twitter was like, why didn't she do a big blowout, do her hair like this? And then somebody else wrote, they said, I think she knows if she does all that, she'll be so much. And she just doesn't
my
want to
God.
be there.
You see, you were talking about dress and all that I can't relate. But as a humanness, oh my God, thank you.
But how come we perceive that not as self-sabotage, but in other people, it could be a form of that. You know what I mean? She's not, because I think she's settled, she's successful. It's not
No, I
such.
think this is not her value of who she is. This is not her value of who she is. I think she's really grounded in her value. She loves being a good human being. She loves being a good person. It's almost like, I'm so sorry I'm famous. I'm so sorry I'm successful.
So sorry I'm the most beautiful woman in the world right now.
I still think it's your mom, but let's move on. But I think she's I think she's beautiful.
She is, yeah.
Okay. No, I'm not fighting that. But what I am saying is, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being the kind of person who's not triggering in me to sabotage myself. Thank you.
And I think that's also something I don't understand how to do. It's sometimes I feel like I make myself a bit smaller, a bit less shiny because I don't want to hurt anybody else. But then I also don't know if in doing that, am I not living up to my potential?
No, you have to become Margot Robbie. Is it how you pronounce it? Margot Robbie. You have to become Margot Robbie and then offer that kindness. It's not that you just don't go there and then offer it. This is self-sabotage. I don't think Margot Robbie is sabotaging herself. I saw something the other day. She said she made, I don't know, so much money and for a Barbie doll. I hope you make more. Bless you. But she's also telling, I can be this without it being a hurt to you. I can be this, that someone from Malaysia is celebrating her.
Yeah.
Right? So, hear this. What she has, using her as an example, she got there and then she's offering it to you. You not getting there, offering that is self-sabotage.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near there yet. I'm still WIP.
No, you don't have to be her. It's her job to be
No, but just on whatever level that is.
Wherever you are. So now hear this very carefully. She got there and she showed she's a kind woman. Not getting there doesn't make you a kind person or just make you stupid. Just make you got abused. This is a very, very good way to describe what we are talking about. She got there, and I'm so happy that Aishi works for her and such an inspiration.
Yeah.
And Aishi talks a lot about her husband. He says she's such a nice human being.
The two of them.
And the way I hear what she says about them, I'm going like, I'm so glad as a father. Please take care of my daughter. This is a dad talking, I'm so happy. I'm so, so happy. But I tell you, I talk selfishly. Yeah? My daughter working for her, I guarantee she's telling my daughter, rise. You don't have to sabotage yourself for me to feel good. She's telling, please don't sabotage. Get to where I am or get wherever you need to get to. Somewhere in this dialogue and the word self-sabotage, at least in this narrow angle, exists.
Yeah, because I see, right, there are people that are so beautiful, but yet they allow you to be beautiful as well. Their beauty doesn't come at the negation of yours.
I think Serinda is there for Papa.
Serinda is that. She's definitely
I always
that.
say she's one of the most beautiful girls I've met. She's a student. She's a beloved. But around her, I don't feel ugly.
But I think that's one of her incredible qualities because she's also very stunning.
Yeah.
But even I as a 13-year-old awkward child, I never felt like I was so ugly next to her, and that's her grace.
Now, if that is absent, you are in a space of being sabotaged.
Yeah.
If you need to make yourself less for somebody to not feel threatened, you are in a state of being self-sabotage. And it is very subtle, It is not somebody tells you become less. You will volunteer.
Yeah. Voluntarily do that to yourself because you are even afraid to show that, hey, maybe I can be pretty too, because they'll be like, no, you're not as pretty as me. They
Yeah.
might not see
Or
it.
it might be conceived as you are challenging them.
Yeah.
Like you take Margot Robbie, there's no way to challenge her. She's successful, she's stunning, she's married, she has a beautiful house, she has a husband. But she doesn't need you to sabotage yourself for her to be fine people like that. I'm telling you, you're very suggestible, If let's say in a table you're sitting and eating with 10 people and somebody just upset if you raise your voice, you will start whispering, And it will happen without anybody putting the rule down. If somebody's dominating the conversation, and if you have a father, a mother who dominates everything, suddenly you become quiet. And that small quality of being quiet will inevitably lead to you having a behavior of sabotaging yourself. And then showing up looks like showing off. Showing up looks like you're attacking somebody. Unless you're in an environment the best of you can shine and it doesn't threaten anybody. And it happens among siblings, if there's 4 children, 5 children, one is the superstar, the rest will be mediocre. I've seen mothers who think they are the most beautiful will always make children that are not. They will suppress the children because the children love them. Why would they want to be more beautiful than the mother?
Yeah.
I've watched this happen. If the father thinks he's the man, you watch his children. The children will sabotage being the person they can be because that's the only way to be with that person.
Yeah, definitely.
But I go back to this. Use Margot Robbie. She's young, beautiful. Why seeing her, you don't feel like? Why it feels like the permission for me to be amazing is there too?
Yeah, why is that?
Why around Sarinda? It's not that I think I'm better looking, but I don't feel ugly. I can show up. I can stand next to her.
Even like we can take Paul, who's been on the show.
Yeah.
He is so smart and so accomplished, but he also gives me space to be smart and to be part of the conversation.
So they are the rowers. The rowers want the best out of you. The drillers will set you up in a way you will not show up without knowing it. If you work in an organization, if somebody is a superstar, nobody else will be the superstar. Why very successful parents, fathers and mothers and whatever, produce children that I see Why? Self-sabotage. What is self-sabotage? I need to negate me. If not, the other feels intimidated. And I don't want to be in an environment that I'm intimidating somebody or it's uncomfortable. So very quietly. Like if you go to somewhere where everything is quiet, you become quiet. You don't know why people are quiet. So there is something called, they say the left side above the ears, there's a part of the brain, they call it the mirror brain. And we mirror very carefully. Unless you are conscious. Now, one of the meditation is this, am I in an environment that I can show up the best of me? And when I show up to the best of me, I'm not assaulting. I'm being Margot Robbie. I don't know why
we're going to send this episode to Aishi.
I'm so sorry.
No, we're coming from a place of admiration.
And I'm just being a dad who's happy his daughter works for a nice person.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So do you think self-sabotage is a learned trait?
It's taught.
It's taught.
It's you are bullied. Self-sabotage is you are being bullied. That's when you get up, and you say, no. That's when you put the boundary. That's when you shine. To me, it's very simple, I have a bad quality. Don't tell me don't. Don't tell me don't. Don't tell me don't. Because I grew up in that era. The moment you say don't, then I say I'm going to show up. Because if I listen to it, I have to repress me. I have to become less. And when I become less, I am giving less to the people I care about. I don't care about you. I care about the people I care about. To them, the best of me is going to show up. And in order to satisfy you, I am not going to betray the people I love. So it becomes a question of the people you love. You see, I can never, not that I don't fail, I can never fail willingly. I cannot sabotage myself because I cannot let my father down. He was my number one fan. He was my cheerleader. He was like, come on, son. Not in a bad way. He kind of knew me, I think. before I knew myself. So my discussion about self-sabotage, stop. The people who are making you become less are not worth it. Be loyal to the people who love you. Don't be loyal to people who want to use you because you don't want to feel threatened. To me, if ever you need to sabotage you, go higher, go more.
So almost like I'm going to spite you and I'm going to be even better.
Come on, that's the spa. That is the delight of life. That's the chili in your food. You need a bit of spice to kick you. I think the question is, be loyal to the people who love you. Don't be loyal to people who want to use you. And you must be able to make the distinction.
But if I just say I am a person and I am so intimidated, I go see somebody beautiful and I want to make them ugly. I want to point out the ugly things about them. Or I see somebody who's smart and I want to poke holes in their little story or whatever. What do you think it is within myself that I would do that?
Do you do that?
Not me.
Yeah, okay. I haven't seen you do that.
I would. I mean, of course I can.
I think you are a cheerleader. You cheer everybody on, sometime at your price.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
that is not allowed.
But on the flip side of that,
why would they do that?
Why do they do
condemn
that?
themselves. They can never be more. They can never be more. They have given up. They've given up. They have condemned themselves based on some trauma they've gone through. They themselves hold a fatalistic view about them, that they know they cannot become more. And when you cannot become more, you must make another less. It's like this, If I cannot become richer, I have to make another poorer.
Or I have to make richness something materialistic and something this.
You have to find a way. It's like this. If I can't run faster, I must stop anyone from running faster than me for me to be number one. And by that virtue, they already lost, It's just question of time. So if you ask, why would somebody do that? Somebody has condemned themselves to failing. And there's nothing to do about it. Let them live it out. It is how they learn. It is how they grow. But now I want to go back to this, Self-sabotage is the last thing must happen. You must be the greatest advocate for you. You cannot be the one who destroys you. Let something outside destroy you, but not you. You shouldn't be tricked to destroying it. Do you know, when I was in martial art fighting, eventually we all become evenly matched, We evenly are good. Most often the psychology is what determines winning or losing, I have to persuade the other fellow to lose. And when he somehow complied to losing, they most often lose. If you really study the science of victory and defeat, there are more psychology involved than actuality. Of course, there is class, there is equal capacity, equal ability. But somehow you talk yourself in, it's okay to lose. Like I've seen champions fight, The guy who's challenging the champion, he's just happy to challenge him. He's not even happy to take the championship. He's just happy that I get to fight this guy. By that, he walked in already defeated. You understand? He's not walking in to say, I want to be that too. So you have to find out. You see, there is an energetic component to all of us. There is an energetic reality. Most people that you meet will ask you to be less. Most.
Yeah.
That's why very few friends you have. I'm so glad you brought up about Marco. I didn't see that thing, but I think I'll go home and watch it. But thank you. Thank you, because you have no idea by that how many people you have indirectly liberated.
Yeah, I mean, she be doing that even with her movies and all that. But it's true. I do think that there are so many people, even your friends, that can show up in ways that you see that they're happy. They struggle to be happy for you. And then there are the people who are happy.
And you have to be sad for them. You have just be sorry. They are ill.
Yeah.
If somebody is sick, they can't be happy. You have to be sorry for the illness. You cannot nurture it. You cannot nurture it.
But you can learn to not be affected by it, I suppose. Because there's always going
No,
to be.
you see, you said I first must learn not to be affected. First learn you are getting affected. Then learn not to get affected. You understand? Don't give yourself. Say I gets affected.
Yeah.
First learn how you get affected. Then next learn to avoid that situation. Third is maybe when you mature, you can master it. But don't give yourself that in the beginning. No. Don't give yourself that in the beginning at all.
Where do you think this instinct to self-destruct or to spoil it for ourselves come from? Is it from being told, like what you said earlier?
No, you will do whatever you are cheered for. Do you know when I was growing up, I saw so many things people cheer. You know? They cheer people to violence. They cheer people for self-destruction. We used to jump off cliff into the ocean, you know, and we keep pushing our boundary. And the higher you go, the more unsafe. You have no idea how many people say, come on, come on. And the guy jumps and hurts himself, and then everybody keeps quiet. When he was cheered to climb higher and higher, where all of us are saying, don't do it, it's too high, don't do it. There are people who say, come on, do it. They don't care. They just want the thrill. So you comply to cheering. I've seen people getting bashed and people are clapping, where people should say no. You understand?
Yeah.
So you must know I can be persuaded by the riot movement, so to say. When enough people cheer me on, I will go with it. So what is self-destruction? Have you seen the drinking parties? I haven't been there for 30 years to a club or anything. But in my younger days, take another shot, take another shot. Come on. And then the person passes out. So you must admit, I can be persuaded. I can be coerced. My system goes with what the crowd wants. First, realize I can get persuaded. I can get affected. Never think you are that strong yet. Be cautious. And then one day you can say no. Even everybody is cheering, you go like, no, I don't think so. Sorry, sir. And then they boo you. Like, come on, they boo you. I remember one boy when I was younger, he ended up with alcoholic coma. I was like, what? He was in the hospital for 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 weeks I was in coma. And all is because they were doing shots. Those days they did. They have a small glass, they put...
Yes, shots still exist these days.
Still exist now, good. and I was not in the crowd, I was somewhere in the vicinity. And by the time I went, he was already passed out. We were taking him out to the hospital. Why? People were just cheering. And when he says, don't want, they booed. So he went back and picked another shot. And one of that shot is just, I think, maximized his alcohol level. He passed out. Now I'm asking, what have you been cheered for? Sometime, more than cheering, slapping that person, say, stop it, don't do it, might be the right action. So we get persuaded. The wish of the parents, the wish of the surrounding, coerce us to do things which eventually you wake up to realize it's a self-sabotage. Now I'm asking you, can you tell me that every part of you within you is striving to live the best life possible, or they are part of you that is complying to the popular demand? You must first be absolutely faithful to you. And I tell you this, it's not so easy. We are a collective creature.
Yeah. I was going to say, when you do that, sometimes people are like, judge you for it.
Get out of that place. But let me go this way. One of the exercise of meditation or this internal effort is that I wake up, that I know for myself I will never do anything against me. That even unconsciously I will not sabotage me, must be the anchoring. In martial art, we call it the centered state, you know. In the martial art I learned, we do this. It's a centered state. I'm centered. I am not going to be swayed. But if you watch people, and they will do anything for the crowd, you know. I've seen a girl, they cheered her until she took her shirt off, top off. I was like, what are you doing? People were doing something, she was going extreme and she was trying to take the I think she did before we threw a towel on her and get her out of the place. But people were cheering. And what are you cheering about? And the next day morning, she might wake up and realize what I did. Or she might just sabotage her for the rest of her life and say, no, I'm nothing much. I'm okay. I can do that. I'm like, no, darling, somebody should love you. You will be somebody's mother. Why are you doing that? This is olden day story. Might not apply now, but.
Why do you think we're afraid to get what we want?
No, I don't think you're afraid to get what you want. You're afraid once you get what you want, what will happen to you? Which means you are in a very bullied environment, You must admit that. You have subtle friends that will poke you. You have somebody will say. You will have this person will insinuate. I watch my dad will never wear nice shirts until we force him for some occasion. Wear it. Normal days he won't wear. I know, small town. In order to not to disturb anybody, until he died, he used his whole car. And I said, come on, Dad, we can buy you a new car. No. It's because he just wants to be like everybody else, so he doesn't disturb anybody. But by that, I must know he's in an unhealthy environment, isn't it? If you have a friend, define the friend who wants the best for you. I think what we are talking about is, are we in an environment of rower? Paul would love this.
Yeah, he would.
Paul will love this. Yeah.
I think that there's also like, I guess, oh my God, I'm lost for words. Like, I'm just going to talk about myself, right? From my perspective, I try not to be too shiny because it's like I'm so lucky. And maybe people are not as lucky. So I can understand why it's hard for some people to look at my luckiness and not feel like, damn, no, I don't have this.
No, you are lucky. Who said they are not? They are comparing. Why don't they find out how lucky they are too? If somebody said, I grew up with a family, we were broke, we didn't have money. So how lucky you are. Now you get to make that money. Why are you looking at you from a wrong perspective? Right? They are denying their opportunity. They are denying, they are lucky too.
Yeah.
You know why they want to say they are not lucky, you are lucky? They don't want to be grateful. You are grateful to what you have. If you are grateful, you will be right by what is given to you. They don't want to be right by what is given to them. I came to the city broke. Do you know how lucky I am? I'm Indiana Jones. You will never be Indiana Jones. I know how it feels. I know how it feels to buy a first car. I know how it feels to get a house. I'm like, oh my God, it's like this. You go to a frontier town and then you realize, my God, this town, they were so small. There was bears and lions and they had to fight it. I'm looking at them with envy too. And I'm like, wow, they had to do that. Wow. Now it's boring. You just buy a condo. So it's comparative. Let me finish my point. I think if you have people who use you to make them feel less, they just don't want to be grateful to what they have.
And maybe also I shouldn't be so egoistical to think that I'm so much luckier. I'm too lucky. Yeah, I shouldn't think that either.
No, you have your own thriving.
Yeah.
You have your own struggle. You have standards to live out that they probably don't have. So you are unlucky too in that context. As much as you are lucky, you have worked, you guys have been, if you say you are lucky, I've seen you from 7 years old, working, studying, going to ballet class and school and doing and go to university. As much as you are lucky, I also think you are put under so much pressure to perform too.
I think a good example of this is that I have like a friend who has older parents, and whenever this person speaks about their older parents, they almost speak it so in a spiteful way, or, oh yeah, you're lucky, your parents are young. I mean, my mother is only 52 years old. She is so young. I have another friend recently whose mom actually passed years ago, 5-6 years ago. And we were talking and I mentioned Amma's age. I said, oh yeah, my mom's only 52. And then he looked at me and he so earnestly said, you're so lucky that your mom is so young. His mom actually died. And my other friend, their mom is alive and living. But they are so spiteful and they almost make me feel bad. They're like, I'm like, what can I do? My parents had me when I was young. But this person makes me feel like I need to apologize for it. But this other person doesn't.
No, they're taking away your thunder. They're taking away your beauty. They're making it something as though it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's how it's supposed to be. They're making it as though it is wrong. And they are wronging you by that. And they want you to be wrong with it.
And they're almost like I have to apologize for it.
Don't apologize. And the moment they make you, it's
And I feel like obviously this is something that cannot be changed, right? But this is the kind of encounters where you get people who make you feel bad for something that you have good in your life. And then you have other people who look and say, I don't even have that in my life, but you're so lucky and I'm happy you have it. And
but they're abusing you by making you lucky. I'm also saying, yes, you are lucky. But I'm also, like yesterday I was telling your mother about something, she was saying, oh my God, the daughters are loved. I said, something I said to your mother. I said, what we didn't do anything extraordinary. We just did what we did. So to say they are lucky, that is not right. They have their burden. They have their life to live. They have why don't they say, oh my God, you have parents like this. Now look how much more you have to be. How come they don't take that perspective? Why at this age you want to run and do masters and degrees? Why Aishi is sitting in LA and pursuing that? Why are they pushing themselves? That is what also the part that is put onto them, isn't it? Where many people can settle with way less. So as much as they say you are lucky, I also look at the burden. Sometimes people look at me and say, oh my God, you're so lucky. You have this, you have that. They say, do you know what it takes to run these things? Do you know what it takes to look after this thing? Do you know what it takes to be the person I am? Do you know the discipline it takes to live how I live? Yes, you look at the luck part, but don't deny this part too. It is almost like they're belittling you. That is not right. You are still you. You still have to answer you. They have to answer them. That is not right. There's another way asking you to sabotage. You are so lucky. Why don't you not take that piece of cake? You are so privileged. It's another way they are tricking you to give you up. No. If you are lucky, you're not so lucky. Now you have to do 10 times better. For them, probably making $1 million will be an achievement. For you, making $50 million would be your achievement. Who is lucky? Who's unlucky? Like I play golf, I can shoot 10 under. The pro cannot. So who's lucky? Who's unlucky? Come on. I will shoot more than 10 under.
I don't even know what that means.
From above the par. Maybe I shoot 20. 20 over. He has to shoot par. Who's lucky? Be very careful. I don't know whether we are clear in this discussion. I think it is an action for you to dismiss you. If somebody say you, is Margot Robbie lucky? I don't know how much she works. I look at her and I say, oh my God, I can put on weight, I mean, don't take me. I can be a lot of things. She cannot, I look at her and I feel sorry too. And I'm like, oh my God, what it takes to be you. If I meet her,
she works so hard.
If I meet her, I'll say, I don't know whether life is kind to you and I hope you have it all, but what it takes to be you, because the whole world is looking at you. Yes. Are you lucky? Yeah. Is she unlucky? I'm like,
Yes to both, I suppose.
Eh?
Yes to both.
No, this way, whatever luck or otherwise, don't use it to ask somebody to give up them. So when they say you are lucky, what are you supposed to do? Quit? As though when somebody is unlucky, they get the bigger piece of the cake. I feel like the entire argument is somehow arguing for you to give up. You wake up to this state and say, I will never give up. I am not built to sabotage me and I will not.
Before we end, do you think that self-sabotage is always a result of your environment?
I think so. Most often, 90%. And self-sabotage is denying that there are people who love you. Remember all the people that love you. People who love you won't be enough. I remember Your grandfather was being interviewed for something I achieved around 20 years ago on television. And in India, the guy put a mic and talk about your son's achievement. He looked at him and said, "Nah, I don't talk about it. He will do more." And he got up and left. He said, "Don't ask me to congratulate my son yet." No. And I looked at my dad and I'm like, "Come on, Dad, there's a camera. Say something nice."
That's just like my mother.
Yeah. But that's perfect. You understand, they will compliment you to give up you. They will insult you to give up you. What they want is to give up. Now, I use this Margot Robbie, right? Margot Robbie as a symbol. Make more. Do bigger movie than, I think, what was the movie?
Barbie movie.
doll. Okay. Not Barbie doll, Barbie.
The Barbie movie.
Oh, the Barbie movie. Make more. Go. Please. When Sarinda, she has such a success lately with her movie. More Sarinda. I've been telling her for 17 years now. More. Don't you dare stop. Because that's what the world trying to do. When you can't move forward, they can't move forward. They have to pull you back. These are the drillers. These are the drillers. These are the people who are sabotaging you. These are the people who make you feel bad for being you.
Yeah.
Now, maybe we live with this. Maybe after this, just for a few minutes, sit down and say, you will not betray you. You can forgo the friends and find new friends. But you will not.
I think that it's the idea that, oh, am I not, if you ask me to do more, am I not enough? It's no, you are more than enough, but you can still be even more.
Yeah. And for the person that love you, what would be the height? They will say, stop, go.
They'll never say stop. No.
Yeah. Because they want you to be all that it can be. Right? Wow. I have one word, I will not consciously or unconsciously work against myself. And for that, I'm willing to lose anything. Friends, relation, I can lose. Because the moment I betray you, I betray me. The moment I betray me, the best of me is missing. And if the best of me is missing to the people that I love, I'm giving less than the best of me. And that I'm not doing. Because the people who love me deserve the best of me. Might not even just be for me, it's for me to honor the people that love me. And in order for me to honor the people that love me, like my father, everybody, my gurus and all that, the best of me is what it will take. So I will not self-sabotage.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the people that love you won't ask you to self-sabotage for their benefit, basically.
And that should be the side you live out. Come on. Get up, live, go. Be the best you can be for you and for all.
Break those glass ceilings.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
Glass ceiling?
Do you know what that means?
I don't know what it means.
It's a feminist thing that for women, it looks like we have infinite possibility, but the ceiling is made of glass.
Margot Robbie is breaking it.
She broke it.
She broke it.
She did it. Hats off to you, Miss Margot. We love you.
I hope I can meet her someday.
Bye.
Bye.